I'm not asking for there to be, but as far as I can tell, none of this signage anywhere on this building has anything to do with footwear. But I was just told that it did. So, yay. First, since all of the COVID stuff started, first barefoot, you gotta have shoes on in here experience. So, that's unfortunate. I'm on a bit of a tight schedule this morning, so I don't want to vlog about it right this second. But yeah, you gotta hate it. Wearing my mask, I was wearing my mask in the store the entire time. I know some of y'all who are against masks aren't gonna like that, but I try and be respectful with it, because I'm asking for a little bit of tolerance as it is from a lot of people as far as being a not shoe wearer. So being a not shoe wearer and a not mask wearer at the same time, probably a little much. But yeah, I was gonna buy a hacky sack there. They didn't have what I was looking for besides that, but can always use a new hacky sack or another hacky sack. I almost collect them. If you got any hacky sacks that have like anything interesting on them, I love that shit. But yeah, didn't end up buying it because the lady I asked if they had tie-dye, which is one of the other things I'm after today, told me that since COVID, they had a sign on the door saying that I need shoes, and like I just showed you, appears to not be the case. I hate being lied to about that stuff. But yeah, tight schedule, off to stores that won't bother me about not wearing shoes. So, shopping's done. I ended up going to a total of 3 stores. The first one that you saw me complaining about. Another one which I go to pretty regularly, if not all the time. You could say those two are kind of my go-to for stuff. If I just need stuff, I check those 2 stores. And then I went to one more that I don't go to really ever. And yeah, the only reason it was a little bit weird, and I'll tell you exactly what happened. So, I was looking around Dollarama for tie-dye. Doesn't matter what Dollarama. But I was looking around Dollarama for tie-dye. I walked past the first guy I saw when I went in, because he was the only guy around the cash. He looked like he was kind of doing something. I didn't want to bother him. I'd rather find someone who kind of looks like they're either in between tasks or whatever. So that's what I tried to do. Looked around on my own for tie-dye because, you know, maybe it's a man thing, maybe it's just a stubborn me thing, but I don't want to bug people. If I can find it on my own, I'd like to try and do that. Anyway, there was a lady who worked there coming out of the back room with a cart. I happened to be in that aisle right up next to the door, and she saw me. She saw that I was barefoot kind of thing, and I scooched as far back towards the shelf opposite her as I possibly could, just as a respect thing, trying to keep any anxieties that she might have as low as possible and keep my own toes safe. I'm not trying to get injured. So I forget which of us said something first. I think it was her. And what she said was, when you come back, could you wear shoes? I don't wear shoes shopping. There are only very few circumstances that I'll put foot coverings on for. So I just kind of shrugged it off. I was like, I come here barefoot all the time, and nothing that I've seen in any of the COVID regulations has to do with footwear. So I was going to buy a hacky sack there. I just didn't. I left. I ended up talking to the other worker that I said I walked past. I asked him if they had tie-dye. The first lady said they didn't. He said he was pretty sure they didn't, but he told me where to look and said that he hadn't seen it in a while, which was, I said that's exactly what I thought. I hadn't seen it there in a while either, but I thought I'd check. And that's more or less the rest of the story. The lady said that there was a sign on the door with the COVID stuff saying that we needed shoes, and obviously there wasn't, which is why I kind of complained about being lied to. But that's kind of where I'm at. Store 2 and Store 3 treated me great. I asked a worker at both of the stores if they had tie-dye or if they had products. I don't think I asked at Walmart if they had tie-dye. I was looking for something else at Walmart too. I asked about that. The workers at both places were great. Before I begun my barefoot lifestyle, I was pretty judgmental as far as Walmart went. I didn't shop at Walmart. I kind of thought the people who did shop at Walmart were a little bit irresponsible as far as voting with your dollar kind of goes, but at the same time, I'm going to shop at stores that respect me and the lifestyle I live, that don't try and force me into a dress code to be shopping at their store that I don't usually adhere to, if you know what I mean. I'm sure, and I'm sure not many of the people who watch my videos are the people who don't like to wear masks, but at the same time, I'm sure some of the people who are finding that they don't like these new mask laws can relate to people telling them they can't be in stores without wearing a certain thing. Well, I'm not saying anything about masks because, as you could see, I was wearing a mask. Like, I'm not trying to shake that boat, and I'm not trying to conflate not wearing shoes with not wearing a mask, because as far as health and public health and all that kind of thing goes, they are a little bit different if you're someone who believes in masks and that they're at all effective and that you don't think it's just a big pandemic. If you're not one of those folks, shoes and wear masks. If you're a rational, thinking human being, shoes are about social norms and mores, and masks are hopefully about health, and hopefully not about social norms and mores. But that's just, I'm just rambling at this point. I didn't mean to start a whole video just because my day started shitty. I don't want to make content out of that. I don't want to be making content out of it all the time. It's a little bit of a pain. I had someone in my life recently in a discussion about wearing shoes basically say that I'll never be able to do anything if I don't wear shoes. I'll never be able to get a job. I'll never be able to shop in stores, this kind of thing. And it makes it feel like the person obviously doesn't know me very well, obviously doesn't listen very much to things I have to say. And the person doesn't really like that I live my life barefoot and am in their lives barefoot to some or any degree. But that's just it, and that's kind of where it comes from. But no. Contrary to what that person thinks, most stores that I go to, I actually get service. It's not only because I patronize stores that respect me. If I'm being honest, which I always try to be, when I'm going to new stores, it's better than a 50-50 shot that I'm going to get service. It's about, I'd say it's about a 50% shot that I'm getting service if I go to a new store. A 30% chance that I'm getting service if I want it, but the store people will ask me to only come back if I'm wearing footwear. which there are libertarian philosophical discussions to be had on about that. But further, to finish the train of thought that I was on, it's only between like 10 and 20% of all of my first going to a new store interactions that end in, I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to leave if you don't have shoes. We're not going to serve you at all. And yeah, I feel like people think I'm bullshitting when I say something like that, when I say that I've got a 50% shot of just going into a store barefoot and being served like any other person wearing shoes. But that is the way it is. It's what my lived experience is, and I'm sorry, but what my lived experience isn't is I don't find that I have people try and kick me out every store I go to. It's just not how it goes. I get into restaurants. Most restaurants will serve me. I don't really go to any super fancy, bougie, you gotta have like an actual dress code to get in type thing, no t-shirts or whatever, no ball caps. I don't go to those places. But the places I go to serve me. And yeah, it seems to genuinely surprise people. Anyway, thanks for watching this rambly rant of a video. I haven't been making these very often. Let me know if you hate them and if they're just a waste of time and upload space, and if I shouldn't do them, or if you kind of enjoy them and like hearing about my life. But I've got other things that I should do today. Really should be a busy day. I really wish I could have found bong cleaner, but I couldn't find what I used for bong cleaner anywhere. Anyway, I guess I'm gonna have to look online for tie-dye stuff, and I'm sure I can find bong cleaner at one of the stores that carry weed type products. It's just it'll be the first time that I've used Orange Chronic in a couple of years at least. And I don't hate Orange Chronic. It's just more expensive than just straight up buying the isopropyl alcohol. It is what it is. I hope you all have a good day. I hope all you beautiful souls are flourishing, and I hope the best for all of you. I hope we can get through this together. Keep your stick on the ice. I'm pushing for you, like a wise man once said at the end of every episode that he put on. Anyway, I've said bye like 3 times. It's like 2-3 minutes of outro at this point. If anybody watches this to the end, I'll be hella fucking surprised. I've got other videos that I'm gonna make. Hopefully I make them a little briefer. Hopefully I figure out how to make a proper outro. I'm not one of those YouTubers who's come up with like any kind of a snappy intro phrase and a snappy outro phrase. I just kinda do. I just kinda do me. I am who I am. You're gonna all have to live with it.